Christian Fantasy Sports. Welcome. Check me out. Told you I was going to get back to the videos. Made one last night. I don't think I actually had time to edit it yet and put it out, but I'm going to be doing that this morning. I want to try to get a video out as much as I can, as often as I can. My granddaughter, a little crawling up to piano over here, sneaky, is going to probably be interfering, interjecting, joining us this morning while she climbs in the toy box to the piano. I'm not sure if she's going to follow the toy box or she's actually going to play the piano. But we love this song. Will you pray? I'll pray. Will the world seem to forget? We will not forget who you are, what you've done for us. What you've done for us. Tell it, Maisie. Well, the world will cease to forget. We will not forget who you are and what you've done for us. Sing it, Maisie. Come on, girl. To forget. We will not forget who you are and what you've done for us. Whoa! What you've done for Maisie. Maisie, you gotta sit on it, sweetie. You're gonna fall. To forget. Maisie climbing on the piano. What are you doing? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Play it, Maisie, play it. Christian Fantasy Sports, we do what we want here. Why? No one funds us. No one watches us. So what's it matter? We can do what we want. We have a sideways camera. Yeah, yeah. That's funny that the camera's sideways. Am I going to edit this? No. Great. Alright, Christian Fantasy Sports. We're back at it today. It is early morning. My wife's got to get up, go early work, 4:45 in the morning. She gets up 4:35. Leaving the house by 5:40. To go in there to save people's lives at the hospital so I can sit around and talk to you. Hang out with my girlfriend over here, Maisie May. Maisie Leanne. That's just her first name. My daughter apparently likes every letter in the alphabet. A couple things I wanted to talk about. I know the Super Bowl's still here, or still coming. But if you're honestly want to be a little bit serious about fantasy sports, you got to get in this mode of where you have to go back and look at the season as a whole. What you did right, what you did wrong. So like I said, I have my board over here.
I didn't get my board in this.
And that's set up since week 2. Now, obviously, I had pictures of my draft and originally in my thoughts from the beginning of the season, but that week 2 is where I start gaining the pulse of what I think may or may not happen. I start staring into the schedules, and I start saying, hey, this is what I think about this. Now, here's some of the names that I thought was interesting, because now we're in that mode where we're not only starting to think about the things we did well or did wrong in this season, but we have to start looking at the people getting ready to come to the NFL for next season. And one of the things you need to think about is how well did you gauge the rookies last year? Where did you make your mistakes, and what are you looking for this year in the new rookies? So a few names that I thought were relevant to talk about is Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams had a great season. Kyren Williams seems to have gained a fumbling issue. How is that going to transition into next year? So what does that mean for Blake Corum? Well, he didn't turn out to be as relevant as predicted. We thought he would see more playing time, and it really wasn't that way at all. He didn't have a bigger role. Probably could say he's on the wrong team. For his exposure. But if we're going to have fumbling issues from Kyron Williams, it doesn't matter how great he is. Will Blake Corum dig into that role? And the reason I bring his name up is because he might be cheap next year. He might be one of those late round drafts. Told you she'd be interjecting. What are you doing, Maisie? Because you're not stepping on that. Look where you're standing, sweetie. You're standing right on that. How'd that get over there, by the way? Yeah. You want to come behind the cameras with Pops? You come up here with me? No? Okay. How relevant is his role going to be? But the price tag's what we're thinking about for next year. How inexpensive will he be? Trey Benson. Trey Benson was a massively hot commodity as far as a rookie draft last year. He was a first round pick. He wasn't the first round pick, and the first round pick. You gonna mess with the camera? Yeah. You gonna be my director? You see the camera moving. Maisie here's got her handle on it. She thinks she's a funny one. She thinks she's the funnies. You wanna come up here with me? You come over here? No? Okay. Then can I finish? You sure I'm gonna finish? You got the whistle? Stop play? I know you shifted my lighting. I can't read my own notes anymore. Yeah. Trey Benson. Obviously Connor held up. And he's playing really well. Really well. They give him the contract. But he might be another inexpensive late rounder that we'd be thinking about now for next year. Why? Because the offense flourished. If you had Trey McBride outside the lack of touchdowns until the end of the year, you had to be extremely happy with his production. I know I was because I had him. Here's that interesting person for next year. And it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But this is somebody that kind of fell through the cracks this year, was on the radar as far as rookie drafts and late round flyers. And that's Marshawn Lloyd for Green Bay. He ended up being hurt and kind of stayed hurt, and we never really got to see him. So he might be virtually free next year. Do we like the Packers offense? I believe I do. I hope you do too. There's a lot of weapons there, so it's hard to trust the wide receivers because there's so many of them. I was one of those guys that bought the Deontay Wicks train this year, and luckily he was a late round flyer, so I didn't have to really rely on him. And oddly enough, the one week I did play him, he went off, so lucky me. But the running game there, that interests me. It should interest you too. Is Josh Jacobs going to last forever? Probably not. Oh, there she is again. My director's back. Are you going to come up here with me? Anyway, those are some of the early names that I'm kind of going around. I mean, some of the obvious ones will be like Braden Allen and Tyrone Tracy. Where did Tyrone come from? Tyrone Tracy. And then, obviously, digging into the wide receivers, Brian Thomas Jr. is the obvious, along with Neighbors. Hey, could you not do that? But what about people like Roma Dunze? What's the fate of him in Chicago? Is he going to head that wide receiving core? Are the veterans DJ Moore and Allen moving on? There's rumblings of change. So these are the things we need to look forward to. It's still 2025, 2024, 2025 season, even though the fantasy aspect's wrapped up. But this is what we need to be looking forward to next year. This is Christian Fantasy Sports, which means we're not going to talk all sports all the time. And I don't want to make these videos extremely long like I did yesterday, so I'm trying to keep them short. So this is just a little food for thought for what we could talk about going into the off season, people to look at. For a verse for today, I want to talk about Romans 1:16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then the Gentile. I am not ashamed of the gospel. Standing up for the word of God. I don't know if it seems to be less and less in I don't know if it seems to be less and less in today's day and age, but it doesn't exactly. It seems like we're more excited about somebody scoring a touchdown or something interesting happening. We go, oh, or ah, or something like that, but we're never that excited about God. Are we? I mean, do we really get that fired up? And shouldn't we? And so this is, it seems like when someone's first coming to Christ, they have that new passion and that desire, and then somewhere along the line, I don't know, I'm going to say we get burnt out, but we just remain human. We don't put on our spiritual armor, and so we get wrapped up in the world. And that's something we got to get ourselves out of. And so that's why we're going to have these type of videos. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about giverofhope.org. I'm going to constantly talk about giverofhope.org. This is my girl Carmel. Carmel going to Haiti. And she's giving up a portion of her life to go bring the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Word of God, to the people of Haiti, her village, her island. And I'm going to do my best to raise money for her. Giverofhope.org. We need 2,000 people to do $5.25 a month. Just click on the website. You can see how to register and sign up. Giverofhope.org. Bringing the Word of God to Haiti. Got a verse of the day. Had Maisie playing piano in the background. She's doing an awesome job. Maisie, you sound fantastic.
You look great.
How could we not put you in the video? You sound fantastic. Yeah, you're doing a great job. Yeah. Say hi. Hi. No? No? I'm just gonna play? Okay. No, that's how we roll here at Christian Fantasy Sports. We're low budget, and we're family entertainment. Blessings to you. Blessings to our leaders. Something that our church had been talking about of recent. We just did 21 days of prayer, and my next video I want to talk about interesting point that I learned in our 21 days of prayer. But I'm going to keep these videos short. Don't forget giverofhope.org. We're not ashamed to share the gospel, nor should we be. So let's get out there and do it. This is Christian Fantasy Sports. The only fantasy here is football or sports, because God is real. Peace.